I had the 4th spot in the draft this year. Okay, I got Deshaun Watson, Saquon Barkley, Chris Carson, Tyreek Hill. And again, my team has been resorted over time, but right now I have Leonard Fournette, Royce Freeman. I got Randall Cobb, Trey Burton, Tyler Boyd. I picked up on waivers.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield. So pretty much we're talking about, like, this is a team that has been putting up points. I mean, Baker was putting up points. Nick Chubb, I picked up on waivers 3 weeks ago. He's putting up points for me, man.
Okay.
I've actually taken an interesting approach where I'm actually rotating my tight ends and my kickers. Kickers, I will tell you, people, don't waste your picks on it.
No.
Do not waste your pick on it. And I'll tell you what,
that should be your last pick.
Tight end, that tight end should be the second and last pick, man. Those aren't going to get you W's at the end of the day.
We disagree there.
I did. No, let's talk about that because I will tell you this.
Who's your tight end? Who's your tight end?
Right now, my tight end is Trey Burton and has been the whole season. How about that?
How about the people who picked up Ebron if he wasn't drafted in the?
Yes. Okay.
What about
That's
that?
fine. But they picked him up. They didn't draft him.
Actually, I don't know if he would have made it. I don't know if he would have made it through a whole draft without getting picked.
That's the whole beauty. That's the whole beauty of fantasy football.
You could have got him late.
That's the whole beauty of fantasy football, right? You look at it and right.
Tight ends can. I disagree. Tight ends can win a week for you.
How?
Because they're on the goal line, they get touchdowns.
It's one position.
It's not a position that you should be devaluing.
It is a position I'm truly devaluing. If you look at it, okay, let's say I pick up a Gronkowski in round 5, okay? What's Gronk to me? Gronk gets hurt about half of the games that he plays per year, right? So I got to have a good number 2. No, I have to have a good number 2.
Or he's your best wide receiver, basically.
No, because I have better wide receivers to boot. Tyreek Hill, to me, is a better wide receiver than Gronkowski could ever be. At the end of the day, if you're not picking a Travis Kelce, and I'll tell you this, Greg Olsen was a number 1 tight end before this, right? Greg Olsen, to me, you look at his numbers, and I just dropped him from my other team, so I know this. This is all fantasy. I'm not talking about real life. I'm telling you that Greg Olsen is not worthy of a fantasy hold'em right now. He used to be a give.
What about last year?
Last year is different. I'm talking about this year, brother. It's you can't live on last year's stats for fantasy.
No. I'm just saying, tight ends. Listen, okay, you don't think Travis Kelce is worth a 7th-round pick?
Travis Kelce is worth a 7th-round pick, depending on where you are.
You think that guy is a 14th-round pick or whatever?
Oh, well, obviously he is. What my point is that. What my point is, I'm not going to risk running back and wide receiver depth for a tight end. You can only have one tight end play at one time. You can have 3 wide receivers and 3 running backs play at any given time, changing those numbers slightly, right?
No, I'm not saying that, but you were saying that it's the least value position is kicker and next is tight end.
Yeah, it is to me because there's only one of each of those positions. And how many tight ends are really affecting the game like the point of a wide receiver or a running back is? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you get one of the big boys like a Travis Kelce,
okay, so that's one tight end. Who's the other tight end after him?
Okay, what about the Eagles tight end? What about Ertz? You know what I'm saying? Listen.
Ertz is a big man. I hear you.
Okay, but what I'm trying to say is after you get your 3 receivers, okay, and you get your 2 running backs and you have your quarterback, I don't think he's a second to last. I think you should be sliding in your tight end right around there.
I'll tell you this, man.
Wait, let me ask you.
Wait, hold on a second. Wide receivers and running backs get injured all the time. You have to get your bench in line.
All right, let me ask you a question. Are you drafting your second quarterback before your first tight end?
No.
Okay, so then he's not second to last. So then he's third to last, you're saying?
I would say a lot of the times my second quarterback doesn't even get picked up until week 3. All right? This is my strategy. That's not
bad. That's a good strategy.
Let me explain my fantasy strategy before we move on. Okay, so my fantasy strategy was pretty much this. I was picking in the 5th spot. Okay, so I let the numbers put it in front of me in terms of who I needed to. Okay, the football league is becoming a running and passing league. You need to take players that are going to have the opportunity to make points on both ends. Okay, so I have a running back and pretty much valued in all the first 3 to 4 rounds, because I'll tell you what, a running back will go down and they will, you're going to have to replace them with a quality player. Running backs are so, I'm not going to say they're undervalued, but what I will say is that running backs are so necessary in these kind of leagues that you need them in order to support your team. So I drafted heavy with the running backs. I think I went pretty much the first 3 rounds of running backs. I went Saquon Barkley at 5, and then I went Leonard Fournette with my next pick in the 2nd round. So you're talking about, I had Saquon Barkley, who is an absolute beast, in the 1st round. And my number 1 rule in fantasy is I never select any of my guys, but I said Saquon is going to be a hitter. So I selected Saquon in the 1st round. My 2nd round picking with the 10th pick was a Leonard Fournette. And basically what I was saying, Brent, is that I like to get running backs within the first 3 rounds. And I'm talking about like these are the main guys that are getting the ball. Like, okay. So I had Saquon Barkley, Leonard Fournette. I didn't draft a quarterback until about the 6th or 7th round. Matter of fact, I had Tyreek Hill as my 3rd round pick, which for me, you want to talk about value. I thought Tyreek Hill was excellent value there
who's your quarterback?
My quarterback right now and has been this season is Deshaun Watson, and I picked him up. Get this, I picked him up. He's my first quarterback, and I picked him up in the 6th round. Okay. He's been He's been ball for me. The lowest point total that Mr. Deshaun Watson has gotten me at this point
was the sack game. It was the sack game.
It's 13 points or 7.3 points. Okay. After that, the lowest, besides the 13 points he scored, and okay, I see another like slight 13 game, 26, 29, 35, 41, 24, 3, 34, 3. Those are big numbers for me, and I'll take that. And I picked up a 2nd quarterback during the season. You can't predict how these guys are going to play. You can't predict injuries. So what I'm telling you guys with fantasy, you got to pick the numbers, man. Just go with where your draft position is and don't overdraft these guys.